So this is a good example of mechanical isolation in plants. There are two species of sage, genus Salvia, white sage and black sage, Salvia mellifera and Salvia apiana, which are adapted to be pollinated by different size bees. So I don't know if you can see the stigma in the white sage right here at the pointer. So there is the stigma of this flower, which is touching the head of this smaller size bee, probably a domesticated bee, mellifera. That is the name of plants that are collecting honey, producing honey. So this bee is digging in with its proboscis to collect nectar, but in the process it's also collecting some pollen from the anthers that are nearby but not attached or not very close to the stigma that is, as you can see, very exerted out of the flower. So it's important for the flower that this bee not only gets the resources, the nectar that the plant is spending energy to produce, but that it also delivers pollen from another plant of the same species, preferably, but a different plant to promote cross-fertilization, in this case, cross-pollination that will lead to cross-fertilization. So, so this bee, it's performing pollination, so it's getting a reward, but it's getting, it's also helping the plant, so it's a mutual relationship, and they co-evolved together. While on this other side of the screen, you can see a carpenter bee that is actually stealing nectar. It's too big to perform pollination in this plant, but the reward is there, so it's adapted to take advantage of it. It doesn't do any good for the plant. And this is an opposite scenario in which too small of a bee, it's collecting pollen and nectar, probably not much pollen, but definitely nectar from this larger flower. But in this case, the two reproductive structures, so you can see them labeled, the anther and the stigma are very far apart, and this bee is too small to transfer pollen from its anthers to its stigma or from another flower nearby of the same species. So it needs a larger bee in this case. This is a very interesting example of behavioral isolation. It's a great video made by this great Australian who I hope you'll enjoy. So please stop this video and watch the behavioral isolation in this very interesting peacock spider. I want you to realize how difficult it must have been to make this video that you're about to watch. So not this one, but the one that you're about to watch. So now that you're back, another few examples of courtship in several different species of birds. So let's say that mating has occurred, and still and then the gametes have fused, and we have a zygote. So reproductive isolation after the zygote was produced, it can still happen. And it happens, for example, in related species such as lions and tigers that can produce ligers or tigons. In today's time, lions and tigers don't occur on the same continent unless they're at a zoo. But we know lions existed, and maybe there are still a few individuals in India, for example, where we know tigers exist as well. Of course, there are more species of tigers than just the Bengal lion in India. There is Siberian lion, Siberian tigers. Goodness, that wasn't good. So